Hi, I'm Chas with Chas's Crazy Creations, and right now I'm going to be bringing you part one of a three-step tutorial that I am going to be doing to redo this piece right here, which is a letter holder. And as we get started, the first step you're going to want to do is clean the piece, and I like to use Dixie Belle Paint Company's White Lightning Cleaner. So you put a couple tablespoons of this in with water and you wash it. And now I've already done that step, and you're going to want to let it dry before you begin. What I noticed though with this piece is as I was cleaning it, I kept getting a lot of brown stain removal. Now your water's going to get dirty because of the dust and other things that are on it over time, but this brown stain just kept coming and kept coming, which told me that this is an older oil-based stain. And I've had this experience before. I had redone a chest of my grandfather's and painted it white, and then a few months after I painted it, the stain started to bleed through, so there was this pinkish tinge, and there's nothing worse than going through all the work of redoing something only to find out that you have to redo it again because the stain is going to bleed through. So what you need is a stain blocker, and what I'm going to be showing you today is a product by Dixie Belle Paint Company called Boss. And Boss is a stain blocker. It is also an odor blocker. So if you have a piece that you bought that smells like smoke or is musty, this will stop the smell from bleeding through your paint as well. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this. And I'm gonna bring the camera down here, down to the table so you can see it. There we go. And so again, it's just, you've already cleaned this piece, and this again is called Boss by Dixie Belle Paint Company, and as you can see, it says blocks odors, stains, and stops bleed through, which is really important. So you can see it looks similar to paint. You can get this in clear or white. I chose white because I wanted to be able to see where, make sure I covered all my surfaces. And then what you're gonna do with this is just paint it on. It's not like paint, you don't need it to be perfect. I'm using a damp brush today. And we're just gonna paint on. And when you're painting with Dixie Belle, the one thing that is really great when you order products from them is that you get a how-to book with that, which let me just pause for a moment and bring that book forward. So this how-to book is in here, and then it's like right here, it says how to use Boss, and it tells you what to do, so you have all the steps that you need to continue what you're doing. So for this first one, it says to coat once, and then it says to let this dry for 30 minutes to an hour, depending upon where you live and the humidity where you're at. So you're gonna let that dry, and then you're gonna do a second coat, and then you're gonna let that dry completely before you move on to the painting. So as you can see here, I'm gonna be needing to do another side of this project. So again, if I would have tried to do this all on a live show for everybody, it would have been hard to do because I have to do 2 coats of this before I can even start to paint it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just to stop the blocker underneath. Side quick here, and then we'll probably pause this tutorial, and I will come back and show you the finished Boss after 2 coats, and then we will move on to the next step, which would be painting is the next step that I'll be doing after I use Boss. And for those of you who wonder where, I found this piece at a thrift store. I think it was $2. And there you go. So that's coat 1, roughly, just so you get an idea. I will let this dry after I finish doing this and then give it a second coat. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial of Boss, and please join me for my next tutorial to watch me use Dixie Belle paint to paint it. Thanks and have a great day.